Hey guys, stay tuned for a new video coming out. That's ITB EE90 Toyota Corolla. At the moment we're just tinkering with the engine, but there'll be a video coming out soon about that. Please like, subscribe and share to these videos, helps us out heaps, and thanks for watching.
Right, hey guys, another video with Rugged Garage here. So what we've got here is we've got my new radiator. This is just off Trade Me. It's a New Zealand site. Pretty much just a EE92 for a 4-age. I found that my 2E was running a bit hotter than what I'd like, so I decided to go for a bigger radiator just because I'm going to be putting it under a bit more load.
As you can see, it's got really nice welds on it, nice beads. And the other part that you've got to watch for is when you buy these radiators to find out where the drain is. And the drain in this one is just right down below there, so it actually clears that mount. And a lot of radiators that you'll find, the part where it goes in the bottom will actually sometimes interfere with that mount there for the gearbox and the engine. So you just need to make sure when you're buying it to get the correct one.
Yeah, and all this junk's going to go, like cast manifold. It's, you know, it does the job, but realistically, headers, that's the way to go if I'm going to go NA. You don't really see any benefit off these. I've already cracked 3 of these already. They normally crack up above the top.
Yeah, you can see it's already got a crack starting just along the tops here.
Oh yeah, it does actually. Yeah, then I got my Mankey's 4-speed gearbox in here. That's going to be yanked out, and I got a C152. Bit stronger. The gear ratios are better, of course, because 4-speed against 5-speed. I don't really like revving it out to 3000 RPM just to get up to 100 Ks. Yeah, it's alright. And then I want to actually paint out all the whole engine bay. I want to respray the whole car because the paint job on it's pretty
average.
Yeah, it's not so good. But I'm just going to do a black spray paint in here. And then I'm going to make my engine, like the centerpiece of my engine bay.
This strut brace we got here, we end up getting off a 4-age, so an EE92, and that's a direct bolt-in. No problems there. And then the one that I got on my car was off an EE101, so we just had to cut it.
I had to cut the tacks here on it and cut all the welds back, and then I just
made it fit.
Fizzed it up with the MIG, and it's all good. But yeah, this one here, like it's a good. I need to bolt this really for it to be beneficial, but it will do the job for now. I might even look at putting a bar in between here. When I had the ITBs in here before, it didn't really interfere with that, so I want to make a bar that goes in between here just to strengthen it up, but I don't want it to get too close to the motor, because this motor, you know, you can have 2 people and lift it out. You don't need an engine crane, so it's bloody ideal really. Yeah, and so
the other
looking
thing
out from the outside, so we've got the fender mirrors. Now they're much. I found these a lot nicer. Yes, they don't look like when you're inside the car. They're not the best for viewing, but who cares? Honestly, I don't plan on looking too much. I just plan on driving it.
it just gives it a real nice overall JDM sort of old school style to it.
Yeah, and currently I got my spare AE.
82.
AE82 rims on there. They're factory ones.
Kind of rare to find nowadays.
Kind of rare. Not many people had them. Not in the best nick, but I will look at probably selling them.
And we also have D2 coilovers as well that are out in our garage, but we haven't yet put it into the car because we're waiting to switch all the rear brakes over.
As you can see here, I've done a bit of butchering on this fender. I had some bigger rims that I was actually going to use, and I needed to fold this lip back in, but I only wanted it to be up there, and I wanted to flare out the whole thing, but it hasn't really went my way, so I'm going to paint all of this, because it's got some rust on the car, and I want to fix that first, and then I'm going to have some. Then I'm going to do the paint on it, because the rust, it sort of needs to be fixed sooner rather than later. Yeah, I've got to cover that up there. I'll put a plate there, just a wee aluminium plate, glue it around there with a bit of silicone, and then slap that on. Yeah, it's got a little bit here.
This is really common for where the 2 doors rust.
That's
it's just along here.
The seal here is actually too far gone.
Yeah, it's junk.
Other than that, like, it's just really on these fenders, eh? And You can see it there. It's had that old paint. That's the old paint there.
And then the
I
guys,
don't know why this guy painted it.
he's put
done a shit job.
he's put tractor paint on it, so it's obviously not the best quality.
This I'm just going to straight up replace this, because this ain't the original window. You come over here, so that's the same as my number plate, right? And it's all that on all the windows apart from the rear one. That's because some dickhead just, you know, smashed into there.
And it's slightly pushed it in, so if you look at the body line, it's about an extra like 2 to 3 mil of what it usually should stick out. And this side here, I'll just show you for comparison, they do stick out stock, but they only stick out just a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's
now,
just had...
New Zealand, people who are overseas probably don't know this, but New Zealand, you have to get a thing called a certification, right, for your car. So any modifications that you do to it, that's like exhaust, coilovers, sometimes even rims if they're too big, steering wheel, sometimes if they've got an airbag, small stuff like that, you have to get what a thing's called a certification in New Zealand. And what that means is that someone's got to check over all your car, make sure that there's no rust, all your bushings are sweet. Pretty much it's just roadworthy. Like, it's good for years, not like just a couple months. Like, and it's a good thing, but it's a bad thing at the same time, because I just want to get it done, but all that stuff costs money, and you have to do it right.
Alright, hey guys, it's Red Garage, and we've got another video here. We're doing a video on my brother's red car, and he's essentially just going to talk about all the parts and the future progress that he's going to be doing with his two-door EE90 Corolla. So yeah, I'll get on to him now.
Right, so I've got all a brand new head gasket kit in there. That's for a whole nother engine. I've already got another rebuilt one, but just for spare parts, you know. And I've got some safe brake cables here. This is for rotors.
And they're all braided as well.
Yeah, and I'm going to change from the drums to proper fucking rotors, because when you're going around the corner and you're giving it too much, you just tap on the brakes, it just locks the whole brakes up, and I've had enough of it. I've got brand new leads, because Bosch, you know, they're bloody good.
High performance ones as well, a lot more durable and a lot more better than the cheaper ones that you can buy. Alright, yeah, so we're back here.
Yeah, so I've got my 2 sets of valve springs here. These guys came in from Australia. I think my brother's put in the link for these ones. Bloody good set of valve springs.
The stock valve springs are around about 35 foot-pounds seated, and these ones here are 65 and they go up to 110 foot-pounds, so it's a lot more.
Yeah, it's got what you need to get the job done. And
iridium spark plugs, which are very, very good. Quite expensive though.
Just a standard oil filter, nothing too special. Then in here I've got my
6-puck, essentially like clutch.
Yeah, so just a stage 2. It's just enough for this thing. I can do some serious clutch dumps in it. And I've got all my bushes down here. These are all for my front and rear. Trail arms and all that, you know, you name it, I've got it all.
They're made out of polyurethane, a lot more stronger and durable.
Australian company.
A lot more stronger and durable than the stock ones.
Yeah, you just got to make sure you grease them up when you chuck them in, or else they squeak a lot. Other than that, it's bloody good. This is my flywheel here. I need to get this machined and lightened. I've got a mate who's going to sort me out with this cash job, so yeah, I'll see what I can do about that. Then I've also got a white line sway bar. It's just your 19, oh no, this one's 18 mil. It's alright, it's heavy duty, it's going to do the job, because these Corollas, they tend to, when you're going too quick around the corner, the whole back end will just slide around a bit. Even with a good set of tyres, what it really needs is a good set of coilovers and rear disc brakes and a decent sway bar. And I'll just open it up so you can have a good look at it.
A lot thicker than the stock one and a lot more durable. You can see just by the ends.
Good quality. You can't argue with that. Like, they do a nice job. And
reasonably cheap as well, considering, you know, the car's quite old.
Yeah, it was about $300 NZ. So it's going to do the job for me. I don't need anything too fancy. And these cables here, I've got a whole assembly for the rear drums to be ripped off, and I've got my rotor ones here. This is for my handbrake cable. You'll need that if you do a swap. And that's pretty much all the parts up here. I got another feeler gauge there because you never know when you need those bloody 2Es. And so in here it's a bit of a mess, but I've put in Scully
reclinable seats.
Yeah,
So they're able to go forward and back, which is good. They're not fixed position.
And they just go like that with that lever, and they rock forwards. You got both on each side though.
Custom shifter in there.
Decent steering wheel.
Yeah, custom suede steering wheel in there.
Yeah. I've also got new speedo
with a rev gauge on it. Yeah, because this one here has no rev gauge.
Yeah, but other than that, that's pretty much. I don't want to do too much in here. I'd actually like to put a roll bar cage in at some time when I get a bit more serious with the car, but at this point in time I'll just keep it standard and yeah, street worthy.